So I haven't been recording much last few days, but they've been going kind of crazy last few days with like sirens and just all types of sounds and stuff. Like the last week or so, I've heard multiple sirens per day. Sometimes it's not a whole lot of sirens going off, but like occasionally they'll ramp it up. In the last week, it's been ramped up. And just like obnoxious fire truck sirens going off, honking their horns. And just multiple times throughout the day. And then, like I said on the last live that I just did a minute ago, yesterday I was standing outside my apartment and this car alarm starts going off nearby me, and right as it starts going off, the train horn starts honking at the exact same time. And then I walked by this school yesterday, and there's these kids outside playing on the playground, and this one boy walks up or runs up to the fence right next to me. He's not like looking at me, but he just runs up to like the edge of the fence right as I walk by. And he's just like over there playing by himself. And like he came like from across the schoolyard and just ran up to the fence randomly next to me. And then after I walk by him, I hear these, like, there's always just kids screaming when I walk by. Like when I walk by a school or when I walk by, like there's just always children screaming synchronized at me, like just like play screaming, just like But I think they were saying my name though. Like a bunch of kids were like saying my name right as I walked by them, and I don't know them, you know? I'm pretty sure that happened yesterday. I couldn't really tell what they were saying, but I think that's what they were doing, and it was right when I walked by them. And they just like kept saying it over and over. And then a bunch of planes flew over me yesterday too, and like right when I went outside in the morning, I like go outside and I sit on this bench, and right after that, this plane flies over my head. Just a bunch of things happen every day. You know, the usual people walking around with red shirts and camo and walking right by me. And like they're just like coming and standing by me. Like if I'm sitting there, they'll just come and stand over by me. But I see a lot of children gang stalking me, especially in the past week. I've seen a lot of children gang stalking me, and they're just like having fun doing it. Like it's like a game to them. Like you can see it, like they're looking at me like smiling. And like it's like This is like a fun game to them. People just teach their children to be bullies, I guess. They're like, there he is over there. Go get him. And they're like, oh. Someone just made a noise in the apartment next to me as a white truck drove out. People are always like coughing in the rooms next to me, just making all types of noises. They're like making these weird tapping noises yesterday. Then there's that one video I did the other night where like nothing was happening for like an hour straight. There's pretty much nothing happening most of the video, but then occasionally things would happen. And I mean, there was things happening the whole video, but it was like really subtle things that I don't think I even caught on camera. I haven't watched it back, but they're making like really subtle sounds in the distance and stuff. But as far as like visually, there was like nothing happening most of the video. But then occasionally they would pop out and do a really obvious thing. But for the most part though, the last like week it's been ramped up. But then today it's like kind of back to like normal now. It's like medium level gang stalking now. But then it's gonna ramp up at some point in the day or whatever. There's someone walking by in the hallway. And then, oh, they flew a helicopter over my apartment the other day, too. So that's kind of unusual. I don't see helicopters a lot, but I get them occasionally. There's a white SV driving out right when I walk up the window right now. They just always have it timed so they drive out right when I walk up to the window. I don't know if they just sit there on the street or like they're just like slowly driving and then turn right there or what. They're coming out of portals, time traveling, or what they're doing. This is dumb though, dude. This is really dumb. Still, to this day, it's really dumb. And then that last video that I just did, I walk up to the street and this guy is walking up right as I do. And I'm like, look, he's walking up to the street right as I do. And he's like, what? What? And I'm like, you just walked up to the street right as I did. There's just this phenomenon going on. And then he's like, all right, stay safe. He says it like in that tone, you know? He says it like as like a threat, you know? Like, stay safe. All right, bro. You just walked up to the sidewalk at the exact moment that I walked up to the curb. You just walked up at the exact moment, and he was just standing there across the street, like looking at his phone or whatever. And then he started walking, and it was like right as a car was driving by me when he started walking, and then, you know, right at the corner of the building. And then he met me right at the street, and then he acts like I'm crazy. It's just like, cut the shit, dude. Just cut the shit already. It's clear. It's so obvious that it's just insane. That they're just gonna play pretend for the rest of their life. Like, I could record that guy every day, you know, and then he would still play pretend. Like, I could record the same gang stalker every day gang stalking me, and then they're gonna still pretend like they're not gang stalking me, even though I'm recording them doing it every single day. They're gonna still play pretend. Like, what's happening then? Why do you keep meeting me at intersections perfectly synced up? If you're not gang stalking me, don't you think this is weird, bro? No, it's just completely normal reality that you're walking up to intersections at the exact same time as me every single time that I see you every day. That's just completely normal. Just stop playing pretend, bro. You're just gonna play pretend your entire life? Some of them will actually admit it. Some of them will be like, yeah, I am gang stalking you. What are you gonna do about it? You know, but they're saying it like it's a joke, like they're joking, but they're actually serious, you know, but some of them will actually admit it, though, at least. But most of them are just gonna play pretend for their whole life like it's not happening, even though I keep recording it happening. I keep recording the same person doing it. They're just gonna get mad at me like I'm meeting them at the intersection. Like I'm stalking them. But I'm just walking up a street, and then they just happen to randomly walk up at the exact same time. Coincidentally, randomly. It's insane. And like I'm like, I get angry sometimes, but I'm mostly just like laugh at them. But The thing that makes me really angry is that they do this to people like who can't handle it, who are just gonna snap out, or who don't know what's going on, or maybe they like even have like mental health issues or whatever. Like they just do this to people and like ruin their lives and ruin their minds and make them lose their minds. It just makes me angry thinking about how many people are in a psych ward right now because of this program. Or dead. Or in jail. Or homeless. It's making me really angry. That people just bully people like this. Like, what's cool about bullying people? As a grown adult, especially. If you're like a teenager, then you still got some growing to do. You might not know what life is yet. But as a grown adult walking around bullying people and driving around, what's wrong with them? Why is it the normal thing to bully people? I thought that bullying wasn't cool. I always thought that. But apparently bullying is cool. And not just bullying, but like the most extreme level of bullying is like insane bullying. Someone hit their lock button the last time I walked up to this window, and then someone hit their lock button this time when I walked up to the window. I think it was the same car. And then this morning when I woke up, the garbage truck was right outside my window making loud noises right when I woke up. And then it was quiet outside last night for a long time. I was just sitting in my apartment. I didn't hear I heard like engine sounds occasionally here and there, but like it was mostly quiet out there. But then right when I lay down in bed, I hear a truck beeping. Just going beep, beep, beep. beep, beep, and it just kept going. And it started right when I laid down in bed. And I don't know. I'm sure there's something else that I'm forgetting that happened, but just a bunch of things happen every day. Like I was at the laundromat the other night, this little girl kept coming up to me, and like I said, like they just have fun doing it. Little children just have fun gang stalking. Like it's like a game that they play. And she just like kept walking up to me, like right up to me, and just like waving at me or whatever she was doing, like just like babbling. She's like a little toddler. And they just think it's so funny. And the parents think it's funny too a lot of the time. I don't know. I'm sure I'll think of something else that happened right after I turn off the camera, because that always happens. Like, there's so many things that happen that I forget and then I remember again. I don't know. If I remember, I'll get back on.